Big Ten football coach of the decade. Urban, how does that sound to you?
Well, I'm very honored. And when I found out, I started having reflective moments in December 2011 when Gene Smith called me up, offered me the job. And Ohio State just went 6-7 the year before. And a lot of stuff, they've just a great coach. And you can debate on how it happened, why it happened. Was it too tough a punishment? I love Jim Tressel. He's a dear friend. And I took over a program that was, they just lost their beloved coach. They just lost the team up north in a bowl game. They played really poorly. And those players, we found out 2 weeks after, Rob, that we were going to lose a bowl game. We're on probation and we're going to lose 9 scholarships. I would not have taken that job if I would have known that, because a lot of times it takes years to get it back. And I give credit to that 2012 team. We went undefeated. Those players, it took them a long time to warm up to our staff, and the way we do things, it was so much different. But I look at John Simon and Zach Bourne and Sabino and some of my great players back then that just stuck it out. And as a result, Ohio State's as good a program as there's in America right now.
I'm sure this has given you a chance to reflect on some of those moments in Columbus. And I see a lot of scarlet and gray over your shoulders right now. What were those moments that transformed you as a head coach when you were at Ohio State?
Well, I told you, taking over a team that those seniors could have left. You go back, look at 2012, the rule was and still is, if the team's on probation and can't play in a bowl game, that senior class can pick up and leave right now. They just lost their coach. They just lost to the rival. It was not a pleasant time here. And they stuck it out, and boy, we worked them hard. They accepted every challenge. I'll remember that the rest of my life. I'm indebted to those players. I think Ohio State should be indebted. They do, but I'm going to keep pushing that. That 2012 team was made up of selfless people that could have went anywhere they wanted, but they stuck it out, even though they couldn't go to a bowl game. And we went 12-0.
So many memories representing the scarlet and gray, but that national title year, it has to be different somehow, some way, right?
Well, the great Bill Parcells, as I would show his videos every year to our team on something I call Champions Day, and he would hold his ring up and he would say that it's like a blood transfer. From this point forward, we are brothers. And I would share that with our team, even leading up to big games. Once you win a ring, once you win a championship, that separates you from all other teams. So that 2014 team will forever go into history books. It was illogical what happened. When Braxton Miller went down, then some freshman named J.T. Barrett goes in, and then he goes down, and you go on a 3-game run, a historic run with Cardale Jones, with one of the most unselfish groups of players I've ever been around. So that was history. It was kind of cool to do it in your own home state, your own home school. So never forget that.
I know you're happy in this new television world that you've stumbled into, and we love having you around, but I know there has to be some elements of the coaching profession that still pulls at you. What are those moments? What are those interactions, if you will, that you really do miss?
It's the fight for the greater good, for something bigger than self. And that's something that I'll cherish the rest of my life. It's the reason I got into coaching, and to see people do selfless things to help your teammate. To me, it's almost impossible to replace. And to be honest with you, winning, walking across that field after, in your heart, your staff, your players, everyone outworked your opponent. You won the game, and then onward to the next. That's what I miss.
So you're named coach of the decade in the Big Ten, but there are plenty of other top tier coaches that you were able to beat out for this honor. Who were some of the guys that you really enjoyed competing against in the Big Ten?
Well, the guy that comes to mind is Mark D'Antonio. He's a dear friend and one of the best coaches I've ever gone against. And you remember back in 12-13, now that was legit Michigan State football. And they're top 10 program in elite defense. I look at Wisconsin, the battles. Gary Anderson was there, one of my former coaches. And then Rick Chris goes in there. And so Wisconsin, you had street fights. And then you had Brady Hoke, who I know maybe his record or whatever. I just had a lot of respect for him, recruited his tail off. And then Coach Harbaugh, the street fights we had with them. So, and then the one place I will not miss, that I will not go, that's the whiteout. That place has turned into an inferno. I hope we get to go there. I hope Big Noon gets to go there and at least do a show there. And I know James Franklin's done a great job. But I'm telling you, that environment, I'm going to go in there as a broadcaster, not as a coach.
What do you think Woody Hayes would say to you today?
Say, boy, good job, and you made the great state of Ohio proud. I hope that's what he would say.
Coach, again, from your Fox Sports, your Big Ten Network family, congrats on being Big Ten Coach of the Decade. Go celebrate your 4th of July in style, my friends.
Appreciate it, Rob. Thank you.
For the best access, perspective, and personalities in all of sports, follow us at Fox Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.